is about finding your blog's unique selling point, also known as USP. So if we just go down the line, as we did before, if you say your name, your blog name, your YouTube channel, and your social media handles.
Hello, I am Siobhan. My blog is justuniform.com. My social
Just Uniform.
is Just a Uniform. I am Just a Uniform.
Hi, I'm Brogan, also known as Brogan Tate, and my handles are Brogan Tate. Hi, I'm Misha Grimes, and pretty simple, everything is Misha Grimes.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and everything again is Charlotte. Jonsie. It's Charlotte Jonesy on social media.
Okay, so to start with, I think we just go down and talk about what a USP is, and if you kind of say what you think your one is, or if you have one. Charlotte, could start?
So I think a USP is your selling point that makes you different from the rest. It's something that sets you apart from everyone else.
I would say I think literally every single person would have their own unique selling point because they're all such different people. Like you could do the exact same thing, the exact same content, and it'd be completely different because we're all just unique, as you may guess by the title.
Same as other girls. I think it's important to know that you can have more than one though, so don't just niche yourself in one category, which is something I think we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, you can have broad USPs, yes.
Yeah, it's what makes you different from everybody else. It all started when brands went out to advertise. I don't know why Marmite keeps coming into my head, but Marmite's an amazing USP. It's like you either love it or hate it. They're not sitting in the middle there. They're saying you either love me or you hate me, and we're absolutely okay with that. And that's what a USP is really. It's what makes you different, and ultimately, it's what makes brands want to work with you.
So what would you say your USP is? So if you just go...
Yeah. So my USP is about celebrating colourful style and individuality. So celebrating being yourself and not afraid to be yourself in fashion.
I am a blogger, but I'm also mainly on YouTube, so I'm a blogger mainly. And when I asked my friends what they thought my USP was, Bianca, my lovely friend, is in Hawkins. She actually phrased it perfectly and said that my USP is pretty much the highs and lows of navigating adult life in the most honest and non-fluffy way, basically. So sharing what it takes to be in my 20s, and I share so many different areas of life. So it's not just lifestyle or fitness or tech or beauty, because I'm not really any particular bracket. I share all of those things in an honest way, basically.
So I'm probably on a similar page that I'm mostly based on YouTube, and I don't know, I think my USP is probably just the fact that I'm just really crazy, really weird, and I show the more glamorous side, and I also show the no makeup, spots, toothpaste, the whole galore, and just like being natural and being myself.
I mean, there's a lot of colourful bloggers out there, but I would probably say my USP is positivity. When I first started my blog, I felt that there wasn't enough positive vibes online. It's quite a negative forum sometimes, so I would say positivity is the one that stands out for me.
And why do you guys think it's important for a blog or a YouTube channel to have a USP? And is it something that you kind of look for when you're looking for people to follow?
It is definitely, I think you can get really caught up in this industry of copying each other, and I think people that actually make it and are, I mean, I work for a brand as well, so whenever I'm looking for people for campaigns, I think, right, what can they offer, or what is their look? Can they portray a certain message that I'm looking for? So I always think about it as in, if you stand for something, then usually you'll probably get more brand campaigns than someone who is a clone of someone else.
For me, I kind of came into this probably only seriously about 6 months ago, so I'm still very new, and I feel like I came into it all in a time where the market was really saturated. Like, there are so many bloggers, there's so many YouTubers, there's so many different people out there doing this, so it's just really like making yourself different and just being your own person, because if you're going out there and you're copying someone else, you're not really filling a gap in the market, so it's kind of finding that gap in the market and just doing you, really.
Yeah, when I was thinking about my USP, and I've been doing this for 7 years now, and it's interesting because in the last 2 years I've been travelling quite a lot, but I've never called myself a travel blogger. I don't backpack, I just go on trips that I enjoy. And actually, my audience responded really well to my travel content, so on the back of that I started doing, I don't know, packing tips and vlogs from those trips and things. So my USP is kind of, I picked out what works best and what I enjoy most, but also what my audience responds really well to. So that's how I kind of found my USP. But yeah, it's important to have a USP and know your focus and know what content works best for you. So obviously, you know, we all have something that we think does better on our channels particularly, and go with that. So yeah, it's always important.
I think it's really important to have a USP because it is your purpose. So as Charlotte said, when brands are looking at you, they know what they're going to get from you. They know, oh, if we work with this girl here, she's going to deliver this. We know that every single time she delivers really epic content. We know her photography standards is always really high. We know that she writes really good blog posts. We know that she's amazing at communicating and doing great vlogs. So you have to know what you're about, so brands know what you're about as well, and then they will want to work with you. And equally for yourself, you will want to work with those brands when you know your USP, so you know what's right for your audience as well. So I think it's so important, and I definitely follow bloggers that have a really strong USP.
And when it comes to kind of your own USPs, was it something that you really consciously thought about and kind of developed and you put a lot of time and effort into, or is it something that you kind of noticed retrospectively where you've looked at your content and gone, oh, actually, that's kind of what is unique about me and what I create?
And for me, I left my job because my full-time job in education, because I wanted to go out and express to the world that it's okay to have pink hair. It doesn't mean that you're an idiot. It means that you can still have 2 degrees and be really intelligent and be really, really good at what you do. And unfortunately, and you can go and wear sequins, but it doesn't mean that you're any less perfect or whatever. And that's why I left, and that's why I set up my blog, to celebrate people being themselves and not being clones of other people, and having the confidence to go out there and represent what they're about and who they are, and not follow the standards that society puts out sometimes.
Yeah, very similar to me. I started when I was 17, and I think back then I wish there were more girls out there sharing what it took to transition from being a teen at college and school and going into adulthood and life and work and moving out and all the things that young people go through. And there weren't a lot of voices out there. You know, there were bloggers, yeah, but they were inspiration to me. But they were beauty or fitness, or they were doing their own thing. And I just wanted more relatability. I wanted more people that I could look up to and think that I'm like that. So I think mine was subconsciously, actually, over time, I just became more honest with my content, and because that worked so well for me, it just adapted over time. So that is my USP now, but it was not something I ever thought could be a USP. I never thought that actually relatability and honesty and just showcasing my life as it is something that would be the soul of my business, basically. So yeah, mine was over time.
I think also mine came about quite naturally. I just went onto YouTube, the platform, and it was just myself. And even the things that like I do in normal day-to-day life, people think it's so weird. But you put it on YouTube and you're like, oh yeah, I do that as well. And then you're like, oh okay, yeah, I'm not the only weirdo out there. And I think that's kind of actually become my USP, being crazy, being weird, and just really being really honest, because there's so many things, again, with different bloggers that maybe people are like, oh, they're holding that back, they're not being completely true. But if you show the good, you kind of also have to show the bad. But what I was trying to do is, if there is a negative situation, I'll wait until like I'm past that and I can look back at it and I can be like, oh, okay, this is what happened and this is how I can look at it differently. And yeah, I'm still very young, I'm only 19, and I think it's quite nice because as I grow on my channel, a lot of people are growing up with me, so I'll make mistakes, I'll do stupid things, but hopefully not only I'll learn from my mistakes, but other people around me will.
I think it's a little bit of both. For me, it was passion first, so you have to think about how passionate you are about certain subjects. I think as soon as you're passionate about something, it comes across on video, it comes across in your captions, your writing, and people will listen and watch you. But then when I first started out, so it was hair, halls and health, those were my 3 pillars. And I soon realised when I was doing kind of the health stuff, that actually people weren't interested in me going to the gym or me doing, you know, those posts weren't working, and neither did they kind of get the blog views either. But then I started to think, okay, what am I really passionate about? Talking about issues, positivity, turning negative situations into positive ones. And then I started to see my DMs like going crazy, or you know, the blog views started going up, and that's when I soon realised, okay, that pillar didn't actually work in the way that I thought it was going to, but this is what people are coming here to see and to wanting to know, and that's where the kind of unique selling point comes from.
And which bloggers and YouTubers and Instagrammers do you think have really good USPs, and what do you think it is about their content that is so strong that you enjoy engaging with?
I would say I'm going to be biased here, which is 2 of my friends on, which is Sophie and Richardson. I don't know if you know her. She's got blue hair. The reason why she's got a unique selling point is that she's always thinking outside the box. How can I make my content go viral? And you know, she's got a very kind of defined look and feel of her aesthetic on her feed. You know, she's kind of got a certain personality that she likes to portray. We were actually talking about it last week. Like even when we were in Ibiza, and one of the girls who's not a blogger, she said, "Why are you putting makeup on?" She's like, "Yeah, but it's how I look on my YouTube is I have to have like my full face on, even just to like those minor details." Another one is Paige Joanna, who does crafts. And again, that's a very unique kind of area, but I love how she does it, and she kind of brings in her audience that also love crafts and seeing how she does things. So I'd probably say those 2. That's the reason why.
I have 2 very different people that come to mind when I think about a unique selling point. So the first one everyone's going to know, Lydia Millen. And then the second one is Graveyard Girl. Now, some of you probably have never heard of her.
I've heard of her.
If you haven't, then you need to check out her YouTube channel, it's hilarious. But she is just a crazy girl who is into dolls' heads and things like that. People are fascinated with her life. And there was a massive stir recently because people realised that she wasn't actually showing her true self, she wasn't showing her true life. And now she's completely changed things up, which is really interesting to see that you've seen someone who's doing so well, and then they've kind of taken a step back, realised that they need to make themselves a little bit more current and stay in the market. And then obviously Elise Millen, she's like no other. Not only does she create amazing content, but I mean, we probably all do know her as the designer YouTuber girl, and there's lots of people out there doing it, but she obviously is leading the way, and she does come across a lot of hate, but she still stays true to herself, and she knows exactly what she's doing, and yeah, she's doing it for the right reasons, really.
I was going to say Lydia as well.
Sorry, I stopped.
No, it's fine. I like Lydia because she's got that designer, aspirational, luxe kind of look, and she keeps it consistent across all her channels, her blog, her Instagram, everywhere you go. She looks the same. She's got that image perfected. But she also works with brands like L'Oreal, so she's also, you know, I can buy things that she's promoting. She's also affordable. But I just really like Carly, Rowena for her fitness stuff. And I really like Gale for her lifestyle kind of stuff, because every time you go on her blog, you know you're going to get that same tone of voice, and she's just so funny. So to me, those are the kind of bloggers that stand out. But I mean, if you gave me any category in travel, tech, I can name you loads. But yeah, definitely Lydia. She's always leading the way.
For me, it's someone called Tezza, who is the most phenomenal style influencer you've ever seen. Her content has come on so far in the past couple of years, and she just creates really amazing style, storytelling, really. It doesn't have to be high fashion clothes that she's wearing, but she'll make everything look high fashion. She's a brand's dream, she makes every brand look amazing, and that's sort of what I aspire. So she's someone that really stands out to me as storytellers. So I think the first thing is to take inspiration from other people, but do not copy. There is so much copying going on at the moment. I'm going to stop there because I don't want to say anything nasty, but I really think there's a lot of copycatting going on, and that will not get you anywhere. If someone's already done it, then there's no point in you doing it. So sit down and think, what is it that I'm all about? Write some words down that describe your blog and what you want it to be. And think about, why would someone want to work with me? What makes my blog different? I think all of us think it's an amazing selection because we're all so different than each other. We've all got our own thing that we're really passionate about. And I think, as Charlotte said earlier, if you can find that thing that makes you different from everybody else, then you're on to a winner really, because that means that you're doing your own thing and you're really passionate about it, and that's going to come across.
Someone once said to me that you don't have to be a sheep, you don't have to follow the crowd, and I took that advice when I chose not to go to uni. And at that time I felt so lost because I felt like I had to copy all my friends and I had to do the same thing. And when I made that decision, it changed my whole life. And now I take that on board with my blog, because I was on a press trip once with 4 other girls, and we all had to publish on Instagram, I think 2 or 3 times a day. And one day I published, I think 7 or 8 times, and they were all like, oh my god, no way. Like, you know, if my audience responds well to that, they don't mind. Like, people that follow me don't mind that I publish, like, you know, a few times in a day. Like those rules and cliches and all those things that you hear that you have to do, or like even earlier they were saying on the last panel, like, you have to use hashtags to grow. I don't use any hashtags on my Instagram. My Instagram grows every single day. So don't feel like you have to do everything that everyone says to do. Like, obviously we're here to hopefully give some advice, but my advice is to find what works for you, because for me, I've had to it's trial and error a lot of the time. So finding out that actually that bit of content worked really well, or, you know, just doing the opposite. You don't have to do everything that everyone says. So find your voice, find your passions, and even if you inspired 1 or 2 people, that's such an amazing thing. So, you know, even more recently, I started swimming well. So I started this whole different journey, which is obviously a little bit controversial, and everyone agrees with it. And the amount of people that reach out to me, like, relate to me, and like talk to me about it, it's just such a sense of community, and I feel so like not on my own anymore, and I just think that's amazing. So yeah, you do you.
Yeah, I mean, Brogan just put that absolutely perfectly. But I think I never went out there with like the set mind that I'm going to be this person, I'm going to fill this bit in the industry. But if you go out there and you're just yourself, you do exactly what makes you happy, you're going to make somebody else happy out there. You could go out there and do anything, and someone would find it interesting. Like some of the videos on YouTube, we would never even care to watch, but there'll be millions of views on them, because there is literally something for everyone in this industry. There's no like set way you have to be, there's no set thing you have to do, just like you said. So just do you, and you'll end up finding your unique selling point through doing that, really.
I would say when I first started, well, not when I first started blogging, when I first started charlottejonesy.com, I was actually in a very lost place, and I actually found myself through blogging. And I think that was the journey of sitting down and actually thinking, what makes me thrive? Like, what am I really passionate about? And I think that is when you'll start to see the following grow, and then you'll start to see people like really engage with you because you're so passionate about something. I'd also say this is quite strategic, but you should have 3 pillars, which is kind of like the 3 kind of audiences that you want to appeal to. It doesn't work for everyone. I'm not saying that's the way to do it. I work for a brand and I do all of their content, their strategic side, and it does work in terms of like having 3 brand pillars that you know that, okay, this is what people want to come to you might say lifestyle, fashion, and cooking. Like, it's just those 3, and usually if you have any more than that, sometimes it gets a bit lost and people are like, what does this person stand for? And actually from a brand point of view, that's when brands are like, oh, I don't really understand this person, or they won't come to you specifically for certain projects. But if you can show on your YouTube channel or your Instagram feed, okay, this is what I am about, which mine is like fashion, positivity, and hair, really. And that's what I'll get brands contacting you for.
That consistency.
Yeah.
I think it's such a hard topic. Like, I am at the moment, my website's down, and it's being done up, and I have had blood, sweat, and tears over who the blooming hell am I? What am I? And I've been doing it since January, and literally Bank Holiday Monday, everyone else is having a nice time, I was sat in the studio thinking, what am I all about? And finally, not looking at other bloggers, but actually looking at sort of inspiration everywhere, I was like, this is what I'm all about. And I just think it can take such a long time. You think like brand, it's about being a brand at the end of the day. We're all brands, and you're trying to put out there what you're about. And honestly, the simplest things like fonts that you use say so much about you. The colours that you use say so much about you. The way you lay things out say so much about you. And Charlotte will say about when brands go and look at what you're all about. It's a first impression, and that's what your USP is. So you need to make sure that you nail it really, and it's hard. Hello, sorry.
Hi. How important?
We can hear
How important is it to understand who your audience is through your unique selling points? So now you know, Misha, you say you're crazy. How do you know your audience, and do you have to understand why they like your craziness in order to become a brand?
I know exactly what you mean, and obviously you start at like the low numbers, and I think as you grow, you learn what people love to see. You know, oh, this sort of content doesn't do that well. Oh, say you say something and someone takes offence to it, you're like, oh, okay, I didn't mean it in that way, but maybe I won't mention that again. And yeah, it's difficult because working in what we do, you don't actually know how people are going to perceive it. One day people could love you, and one day people could hate you, but you kind of have to take the rough with the smooth, and be like, okay, well, at least I'm being true to myself. Even if it makes, say, 20% happy, I'm still making that 20% difference. So yeah, it's really interesting, but yeah, I'm always just saying, like, just be who you are, and I mean, if you're happy with yourself, then that's really what matters. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing this not only to obviously inspire other people, but I cannot wait until I'm older and I can look back at my life and be like, wow, that was insane. Because I'm going to forget half the stuff I say, half the stuff I do. But if I'm
not going to let you.
Oh, true.
I do actually sound particularly famous, right?
Hold on. I do actually want to also mention Mum, now that you got it in, I feel like it's just part and parcel. And I do think that my mum is part of my unique selling point, and she completely disagrees. She's like, no, you're your own person. I'm like, no, because people really invest in our relationship, and I do think the people around you do help like make you the person that you are, and they're part of you. And obviously, if there's a relationship there, people are interested, they want to see what's going on, they want to learn more, and if it's a bit different, then it's all the better. So yeah, get your boyfriends, get your sisters, get your moms, get everyone involved. The more the merrier.
Yeah, I'm going to go from a completely different tangent as Misha, which I think all the stuff she said is really, really important. But looking at a business side of things, I think it's really important to know what your USP is so that you know who your target audience are. And obviously you have grown your target audience because they wouldn't follow you if they weren't interested in what you do, or hopefully not. And so I know that I could probably tell you who Misha's target audience is just from watching some of her YouTube videos. Particularly become fond of recently, and I particularly love her mom right now. And I won't go into details of what I saw the other day that actually made me cry. So I know that my target audience is 25 to 34-year-olds, and I know that I have a slightly older audience. I know that brands, the first thing they ask me when they email me, obviously they're interested, they know what my USP is, they know what I'm about. They're also interested, is my audience in Britain? Are they in America? Because if their product is only sold in this country and their target audience is 25 to 34-year-olds because they've got a bit more disposable income, does their product being sold in America? If my majority of my audience is in America, I know that 75% of my audience is in Britain. So it is really important to know who you're going out to. And I equally have people that follow me who are a lot older than I am. They wear black every day, but they absolutely love me because I inspire them to maybe just change something. I have people come to me on the street in Kent where I live and say, oh, I follow everything that you do and I love it. I would never do that, but I absolutely love it because you like give me it's like a breath of fresh air. So it is definitely important to know who your following is and your USP.
I was just going to say as well, it's good to know all those stats as well, which is obviously like crucial for any blogger. But what I really like is I actually just ask my audience what they like and what works well, and engaging back with them, replying to their comments. It's funny, someone will write like, love this, and I'm like, thank you, and then they'll elaborate on that and like start saying actually what you did, and actually just talking to people. People are people behind the screen at the end of the day. And they actually really have, most of my content has been inspired because people have told me that's what they want to see, or they'd like to see that from me, and it's like triggered some sort of light bulb in my head. So yeah, like knowing your audience is so key, but that takes time sometimes, and also yeah, the engagement side is so crucial.
I was just going to add on to Siobhan's point, there's actually a shift in brands looking at audience versus following. There's a lot of brands now that are asking for the analytics. And just to Siobhan's point, it's really important where your demographic is, like what country, because I think brands are cottoning on to, actually they could be working with someone who has a huge US audience, but they don't even sell in the US. So what's the point working with that influencer? So they are looking for that. So just to be aware of it.
It's value for money at the end of the day. They're paying you for a service like they used to pay for advertisement on the television. So they need to make sure that when they pay you X amount of money that they get a return from it, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And it's all very lovely, but that is what it's all about.
I don't know what my question is, but I just wanted to know what your opinions are or thoughts about USPs changing and maybe anticipating change, or do you think that it's such a core of UI that maybe it wouldn't change? I don't know, any comment about it was inspired by what you were saying about your that particular demographic group and like what their interests might be. So whether you anticipate that there might be a change, or have you?
I think it's absolutely fine to change with USP. We're human beings at the end of the day. We're not a brand. Even brands, there's massive brands change what their USP are. I think it's important to move with the times, as a brand would as well. I think that it's really important to know your audience, but it doesn't mean that your audience is necessarily who you are. You could be someone that's inspiring them to, they want to follow you because they're someone that they really like and they don't really have that in their life maybe. But absolutely, it's fine to change what your USP is as you change. I mean, if I start wearing black, like, there's maybe something wrong with me. And I don't know that would ever happen, but I'm not saying never, and that's not, that, I think completely, and I think someone like Misha, who's 19, of course your USP is going to change, like, when she gets to my age, definitely going to change. She might have children, she might have, I don't know, she might be married with children, and she might be...
I'm not ready to be a grandma.
Oh, sorry, I mean, you would never look old enough to be a grandma. Yeah, I think so. You could become into interiors and you could build a new house. I think it's absolutely fine to change as long as you're prepared for your audience to change as well. Maybe change with you.
I think people are always scared of change, and you'll see people in like YouTube comments being like, oh my gosh, you changed, you're different, but that's never a bad thing. And I know being young that I am going to change completely, well hopefully not too much. I'm quite like the person I am, but hopefully as I grow, my audience will grow with me. So my audience is what, like 18 to 24, so I'm like slap bang in the middle nearly. So as I grow up, my audience will grow up with me, they'll be going through similar things in life. And I think that's the good thing about YouTube. There's so many people out there watching it, that there is going to be someone for everyone, quite simply.
That's what's up to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two mics are broken.
I'm 24, so yeah, obviously my life has changed, therefore my USP's changed. Because when I started, I was in college sharing like tips on studying, and obviously I don't, that's not me anymore, I don't do that. No studying, no exams. So yeah, and now I have a boyfriend, I'm moving with him, and like you said earlier about relationships, I was nodding along thinking, definitely, because he takes up a lot of my content as well, and people are very invested in the fact that I shared my neck on Tinder, so like super relatable, you know, and I shared that whole journey. I even filmed the day of our first date coming home, so people are quite invested in that whole thing, and so that's actually led to us having brand deals together. So we've gone on 2 trips already, and we've got a third one in September, because the brand said to me, we want Benji to come with you, like, because they like it, they like how we bounce off each other, and we create good content together. So obviously I'm super blessed and I have that relationship, but yeah, it's really interesting. But mine has changed as I've grown up, obviously. So yeah, it was my 2 cents.
Do we have one more question?
Yeah. Hi, I'm trying to figure out how to say this properly. How do you, any tips on how to change the demographic? I know one of you mentioned about not using hashtags, for instance, I do YouTube and Instagram, and I find that lately I'm attracting a lot more US people, and obviously I'm in the UK. I want to get to do more UK, to get a UK audience. So any tips on how I can attract my UK people, basically? Yeah.
Maybe on YouTube it might be a good idea to tap into other people's audiences that you think are similar to you and relatable to you that are in the UK maybe, and have fun. Yeah.
One more little thing to add about unique selling point. The good thing and bad thing is that it's probably only I'm only one kind of doing what I'm doing right now. That's why there's no market for me, but I can make the market. But literally, because other people do what I'm doing in the UK.
So no what
plus size.
Plus size. Okay.
Curvy plus size. So basically, I'm not tiny, skinny, and I'm not big.
So that's sort of middle market where there's a huge
But in the
gap.
States, people relate to that more, but in the UK they don't.
Yeah, there's definitely, I think you're right, there's definitely a huge gap in the market for that sort of middle ground.
And it's amazing you know that that's what you want.
Brilliant. Yeah, so you've already figured it out. I'm trying to think like, come on girls, give me something.
I would first of all start thinking about brands in the UK that you want to work with. And start outreach. One of the biggest things that bloggers do is they do not do enough outreach to brands. Like there is so many bloggers that you can only think of a pool of talent. So if you're feeling that you're not getting enough, it's hard to generate a UK audience. It's hard. Like you can't pick and choose how you get that following, and it just happens kind of naturally. Like I can't think of any way that you can do that, but one of the things you could start to do and be featured on other brands' pages, which are UK based, and that's how you kind of build more of a UK following, because the more you're seen on different accounts, I'm trying to grow like a different, or I've got a large UK following, but I would like more of a US following. So I'm actually trying to think currently like, okay, well what brands in the US? So there's Lime Crime, there's other type of brands that I want to start working with, or Colourpop's huge in the US. Yes, they sell, online or in the UK, but they have more of a US audience. So just start to think about that. That's one of the tips I'd give.
Yeah. It is tricky because you sort of don't, that's what I was saying about your USP, is that you don't really define who follows you. You're not like, yes, I'll have you, and you'll do as well, and you can come as well, but the rest of you, no thank you. So I think it is really tricky because you don't really choose your audience chooses you, and so it's just trying to see how you can appeal to a UK audience, because we're actually really different than America, and people in America are they like very different things than we like. We're a lot younger country, they have very different opinions, so it's interesting. I mean, I would love to break Asia, like I love like Japan and all that, like Korea. I have no idea, like I think I'm just gonna go there and just take my photos with lots of people and see what happens.
It's really fun, actually. My boyfriend and I were talking about this. Whenever I go to a country,
I
always get.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's hard for you because you're in the UK. But we were talking about this the other day. I don't know if anyone else does this. You always get. I was in Spain, and honestly, my followings all of a sudden started getting Spanish followers. Or if I've gone to America, that happens as well. So I'm not saying you have to go and travel to get followers.
But it is true
because
you're putting that tag in saying you're in that country. At New York Fashion Week, I've had loads of people from America follow me because I was at New York Fashion Week, so it is true.
Maybe with location tagging on Instagram, that might be quite useful.
I tag my locations a lot.
I
think it's just my style. It's related to more people in the US.
Tagging with like I said, with
but I definitely take it with the brand, because I'm working with a few UK brands now, and I found that they are getting me, but like you said, for them to reach out to me, they have to be able to give them the audience they want. So it's a kind of a catch-22. Because if I reach out to them, let's work together, like, oh, but you can't give me any audience in return, so I'm just like, ugh.
What about also, I know that there's a few UK-based bloggers that have their own hashtags that they use and newsletters, and that might be a good way to do it, because they're quite small hashtags, not many people post to them. And so the people that are following them are looking for kind of UK-based bloggers. I know there's Vix Meldrew has Real Life and Style, so it might be a good way to kind of engage with other people that are based here. Thanks so much, everyone. If you've got any other questions, I think these guys are going to be around for a bit, so please do feel free to come up to them and ask them anything that you want to ask. Thanks.
Okay, here is Bianca AKA BINKY.
How are you?
Okay, I've taken my I just said she wanted them to talk and here with Brogan who is somewhere behind you.
I can't hear you, it's so loud in here.
Yeah, I sure it's my talk. I don't know the talk just now. I mean, I wasn't taking part in it, but yeah, it's so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what my watch and what my necklace is doing, but anyway, I thought just to say there was a series of talks about rebooting the Blogosphere and find your USP and they're very interested in it. Well, I've just seen them from already. I've spoken to Scarlett, Brogan, Jordan, Alice, Becca and Bianca and as well as Beth and stuff from those about. So I also spoke to Misha Grimes and Millen, which was quite nice because it kind of reminds me from what I met with Brogan and Herman and Bournemouth last year. And now I go into for the last panel, which is putting a price on your content.